you're a New Yorker.
Yep.
I'm a New Yorker. Born and raised. Yeah, you're from Levittown, Long Island, but, I'm an Upper East Side kid. Should people be afraid of Zohran Mamdani?
I don't know if afraid's the right word. It depends on what your status in life is. So if you are a homeowner in New York City, the value of your home is going to go down.
Yeah.
Substantially.
And why? Why is that?
Because people are going to leave.
Yeah.
And
because he's going to raise taxes on the rich, and the rich are going to say, yeah, we're going to go down to Palm Beach.
New York is never an easy place to live. 8.5 million people crammed into 5 boroughs. And people go there for opportunity. They go there to prosper. And that's why there are so many immigrants to New York, because you can make a living fairly quickly there and work your way up. But if the government of the city and state is going to take 25% of your money away from you, people are going to leave. That's how simple it is. And I'm not even factoring in public safety, because nobody can really predict that other than the cops don't like Zohran Mamdani. They don't want to work.
He said in 2020 the cops are anti-queer, they're racist. Everyone knows that. Hashtag defund the NYPD.
And he still wants to cut $1 billion out of the budget. And the NYPD is 10,000 down now. So I have family members living in Manhattan. And I said, your life's going to change, and not for the better. Security is going to be tough. You go out at night, you're going to have to go out in groups. You're not going to be able to walk around by yourself, even in the good neighborhoods. Because literally, a person can come up to you in New York City, punch you in the face, break your nose, take your stuff, and that person likely will not be prosecuted. That's anarchy.
Now, is it going to be that bad? I sort of feel like every 30 years or so, somebody, there's a socialist experiment. And they realize, shit, this is why it doesn't work. Okay, and then you're done. Like David Dinkins had, socialist ties. Fiorello LaGuardia, they had socialist ties. He was a Republican, but when he was losing, right, but it never really goes anywhere. And as far as Mamdani goes, how much power does he have? Like, does he have executive orders, to the extent that Donald Trump has used them nationally? Can he just, decide outright on these things, like free grocery stores in every borough and rent stabilization, and which will of course drive the quality of your buildings down and the price of your buildings down, and all these things that he's promising?
Well, here's what's going to happen. Mamdani is constrained by Albany, but Albany is a radical left governance body right now. But the governor, Hochul, is up for re-election next year. And she knows that if she approves a tax rise, that she'll lose, because New York is the highest tax people, even worse than California.
So Mamdani wants to raise taxes by 2% on people making $1 million or more.
He needs Albany's approval.
He needs Albany's approval, right. So he probably won't get that.
He may get it. They might be able to override Hochul's veto because they are radical leftists. But here's where you're going to get it. Mamdani has the power to tax parking garages. What the city has done now is they actually steal money if you have a car from you, because they artificially deflated the speed limit, 20, 25 miles an hour. Nobody can go 20, 25 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And they have cameras everywhere. So if you go 33, you got to pay $250 to the city, which will soon be $400 under Mamdani. So everything that you do, everything, go to a Broadway show, go to a game, go to a restaurant, there's going to be a tax levy on you. And so the money is going to fly out of your wallet into the city, and then it'll be redistributed to the Mamdani voters. That's what socialism is. So that will happen, and nobody can stop that.
The conventional wisdom that's being passed around is that the Mamdani voters are young, disaffected kids who feel like, what the hell? I can tell you this. I've got 3 daughters in their 20s, And they have all vocalized to me, Dad, how in the world are we ever going to afford, a house the way you and Mom raised us in this house? Like, am I ever going to be able to do that? I can barely pay the rent. And, I'm helping them, at every step. That's a real concern.
Absolutely.
Of theirs. And so this affordability note that Mamdani hit is absolutely dead on. Just like in 2016, when no one saw Trump coming, they all said, oh, it's just racist, xenophobic Darryls driving around with guns in their trucks. No, it was also moms working 2-3 jobs, and they liked him because, they wanted to drain the swamp. They didn't like the politicians as they were in Washington. They wanted an outsider. So again, as the Republicans missed it this time with Mamdani and the affordability issue, he's striking that note, but it's a real note.
Yeah, it is, but let's be realistic. If you're going to want to live on Park Avenue or in Beverly Hills, you're not going to be able to do it.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Unless
you're Billy Bush, or, unless you hit it big in your profession. So I live 8 miles outside the New York City limits, but people can go to Long Island and they can rent an apartment or buy a home in some places and establish themselves, but you're not on Park Avenue. So in American tradition, you move up, like the Jeffersons.
Right.
You moving on up to the east side, okay? But today, the younger people, and I'm generalizing now, don't get taught that lesson. They want it all now. And if you want it all now, then you're going to have 6 roommates, and if you want to live in Manhattan.
Yeah.
So this is what they call supply and demand.
But there's a wealth gap, Bill. I mean, this is the first generation that, doing better than your parents is very unlikely.
Unless you figure out a way to make money on the trends like AI. There are ways to make pretty good money. But if you're going to be a traditional person and sell cars or insurance, then you're going to probably not do as well as your folks. But I'm not so down on it. What Mamdani did with 2 things. Number one, he was a much better campaigner than Bela Lugosi, which was Andrew Cuomo. He channeled Bela. Okay, he should have campaigned with a cape and only come out at night. Mamdani's a good campaigner.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
He knows the TikTok, baby.
I wrote a column called The Smiling Communist. And there he was. Oh, yeah, don't worry, be happy. That's his theme song. I am not a bad guy. I'm just going to make everything better for you. Free bus rides. I'm going to bring down food. I'm going to bring down rents.
Universal child care.
Yeah, it was the Fidel Castro playbook from 1958-59. Almost word for word. Mamdani has studied Fidel Castro. You go to Cuba now, they don't have anything. And that's what's going to happen in New York. He's not going to be able to really improve the quality of life for the people in the Bronx or the people in rough sections of Brooklyn. He's not. And interestingly enough, the poor really didn't come out for Mamdani as big as you thought they might. It was, as you pointed out, the younger professional class that's fed up, they're cynical, they don't want to vote for the old timers like Cuomo.
They love him on TikTok. They're stuck on their screens.
They said, look, it's so bad now. I'm so dissatisfied. I'll give this guy a chance. I don't care if he's a communist. That's how he won. And now there's a price to be paid. And it'll just be a matter of how bad will it get.
I'm reading your book. I love the chapter on the Shah of Iran versus the Ayatollah Khomeini. Brutal. The Ayatollah. Actually, the Shah comes out as a pretty good guy when you compare him to the Ayatollah. But I think there's a lot of people afraid that Mamdani he's a Muslim. Is he a radical Muslim? And I got to say, does he have ties to Qatar? Is it ties to Iran? Are a whole bunch of Muslims going to come in and live in New York City and take it over? That's a fear that a lot of people have. But, he's very pro-homosexual and LGBTQ+. He goes to the Pride Parade. He's in gay bars campaigning. They don't like that. They throw gay people off of rooftops.
And he's for legalized prostitution and legalized narcotics and everything else. So
Ali Khomeini doesn't like him.
I don't think that anyone should fear a Muslim intrusion into the city of New York.
Why not?
I don't think there's going to be a jihad that pops up. I don't buy any of that. It's economic and public safety that the problem is going to occur. Problems. The Ayatollah Khomeini would despise Zohran Mamdani. In fact, he'd probably be executed. If the Ayatollah would probably, I don't want to see this guy around anymore, because he's not a fundamentalist in the sense that you don't have women. Women have to cover up. You can't have this. You can't have that. That's not Mamdani. He's a secular guy. But he is a communist, and that's what people don't understand.
Not a socialist.
No, he's a communist. His great quote is, I approve of the seizing, that's a key word, seizing, okay, of the mechanics of industry, all right? So he wants to seize private industry, private property. That's communism. And he said it. I ran it on the No Spin News 4 times. Okay, he's not disguising. You know, I'm a democratic socialist like Bernie Sanders. Sanders is a communist too, because you can't be a democratic socialist. In order to do the things they want to do, you have to take private property away from the well-to-do. You have to. There's no other way to fund it.